going on that short journey of sort of the adoption and how quickly it's been adopted, I think if people haven't played with it and jumped in, they'll probably go, holy shit, what is this capable? I even watched it with my sister, where I was telling her about it. It must have been, I can't remember, it might have been like a year, or it might even be 2 years ago. And I was telling her about how it could help with her partner's study. And she's just like, no, you can't, like that's, you can't use it for something. I'm just like, oh, honestly, like just have a play. And then, 3 months later, it's like, holy shit, that's amazing. It can find the references faster. It's, and I was explaining to her how I'm like, go, because she's a nurse. So I'm like, present yourself to ChatGPT as the patient and ask it to diagnose, and then ask it, okay, what you may need, etc. And I think for her, that was, instead of me explaining about what it can do and like accounting and stuff, putting it into her world, she's like, oh, holy shit, like, this is pretty powerful.
Suspend your disbelief. Just suspend your disbelief for a second. Think back to what people thought about electricity when it first turned up. Think back to what cavemen thought about fire when it just first turned up. And just like suspend your disbelief and have a play. And just have a play every week. Yeah. And I don't care if you own a business or you're a team member, you're an employee or you're a whatever, have a play. And I say this as a guy that despite being a fuck up, created millions of dollars of wealth and consistently just from being in Facebook ads, just for being adjacent and around it. That opportunity exists for everyone in AI. I can't put it into words how seismic and drastic and ginormous this thing is. It's never going to sink in fully. But I just want to say to like everyone out there, just with a technological revolution of this scale, everyone can play a part. Everyone has some value. You want to diet. You want to know where the best beaches are. You want to create a funny image for a birthday cake to get printed on. Whatever. Yeah. Just play around and then talk to your boss or your business partner or your whoever and go, hey, do we want to be the business that wasn't using electricity when all the other businesses were?
Yeah. Yeah, one of the use cases that I have thought about where, how it can talk back to you? So you can talk to it and there's different voices. Yeah. And I thought,
I don't even do that, by the way. I'm not even there.
Have a play. It's because once I unlocked that bit, I thought, this is interesting. I said, you think if you're struggling and now we've learnt about mental health, but then it's like, okay, what do I need to do? And I said to Taz and I were playing with it, and I'm like, let's say, hey, look, like I'm struggling with anxiety, etc. And in the most like empathetic coaching, it's like, oh, it's really tough that you're feeling like that. Is there anything that's contributed to it? How about we look into some of the causes and maybe we can look at some of the suggestions. And so then you talk back to it and it's like you're talking to someone and you start then my brain goes to like, holy shit, if you've got people that are, they can't make it to a doctor, a nurse, a psychologist, whatever, then we've just given basically people the access to this. And I know there were people, because we're so early in the cycle, we're like, how can you trust it? It could give you the wrong advice or whatever.
Let's just humans.
Bingo. Like, let's just remember, medical misdiagnosis might be one of the leading causes of death. But we're so quick to be like, but fuck, like we have to hold on to the world.
It's the risk aversion. It's that risk aversion thing. I know this has got me to the dance. I'm alive. War, new stuff, no thanks. No way. We evolved over hundreds of thousands of years to be like, no, new is bad. New kills me.
Well, funny, down the road from work, there is a car park and it's next to a hotel, and the hotel's old. And then I saw, they have car chargers in there. And so I went to have a look because I was looking for somewhere to charge the car. And it's still got the booth where the dude would sit or the lady would sit to be like, oh, you're parking in here, are you? Yeah. Well, you better fucking pay up, champion. Yeah. And then I'll put the barrier up. And then obviously we're like, that's a stupid use of a human. Like, we shouldn't let them sit there for 8 hours and collect the cash. Then I'm walking in there thinking, okay, now this place actually has like car chargers, how far it's come to need a car charge. But no one is ever, this is how I always think about it, no one's ever like, fuck, I feel really sorry for the person who did that job, Like, technology came along and took that away. Like, I wonder what they're doing today. Now we're like, oh, for fuck's sake, I have to press the button on the machine to get my ticket. Why doesn't it have electronic scanning of my number plate? You know?
Yeah, isn't that admin? And you're like, wait, why doesn't the ticket I want to pay here. I don't want to get out of my car.
Yeah.
And dude, there's those analogies everywhere. Oh my God, you're making that horse plow the field? That's what tractors are for.
Yeah.
And so just be in the new game. And it's especially important in this because this is such a, I don't want to use the word pervade. This is such a blanket technology that it's going to affect everything. And why not be one of the individuals that's up with the play? Because we've got a business called the AI Accelerator. And one of the core pieces of that business is we want to empower humanity, not eliminate humanity. So I'm not going to work with any business unless we have a clear plan about how we're going to restructure, reallocate resource that we're saving with AI. Yes, jobs will be lost. The printing press killed jobs. Technology kills jobs, but it creates jobs. Yeah. So I would love for a country of 5 million people in the arse end of the world, we're good at land, we're good at milk, we're actually good at tech, we're sending rockets up, we're good at lots of stuff. What if we all get on board? What if we're one of the leaders and maybe we're not going to build $500 billion data centers and we won't own the base tech, but maybe we can be the enablement layer. You know, I've got the ultimate thesis for my company is to, for the accelerator, which is kind of the parent business to the e-commerce accelerator, too complex and we won't get into it, but I want to retrain the world, empower humanity. Retrain people, empower humanity, and save the world. Because I genuinely think that if more good people, more kind, good-natured people, probably the ones that aren't as quick to jump on the tech, if they're not there and going, how can I use this to empower people instead of eliminate them? Then you get all the jackals, you get all the snake oil, cutthroat people coming in and they just slash and burn.
Yeah.
And so I think there needs to be a counterbalance to that. And it's generally those nicer people are the ones that maybe aren't taking the more aggressive forward action.
Yeah.
And so what better way for us as a country of 5 million people to compete than to be at the knife edge, the bleeding edge of the enablement layer for all of these high-tech AI systems? Why not?